Today we're reading Matthew chapter 8, and this kind of starts a new section in the Gospel of Matthew because so far we've been learning about what Jesus came for, the calling of his disciples. The last few chapters, he was teaching about the kingdom of heaven, and now we're going to see the teaching about the kingdom of heaven being translated into real people's everyday lives. And so keep that in mind. Everything that we've been reading now is culminating, and we're going to see it actually applied into the lives of several different individuals. So in verse 1, it says, large crowds followed Jesus as he came down the mountainside, and then suddenly a man with leprosy approached him and knelt before him, right? So probably this man just heard all of Jesus's teachings, and then the guy said, Lord, if you're willing, you can heal me and make me clean. Now, I'll let you read this for yourself, but he basically does. This is a pretty incredible thing that he would touch this man, and this man gets healed. And now we see that the teaching, the authority of Jesus was not baseless. We see that he really is someone who cares about people, and he heals this man. And then the next picture, the next vignette is of a Roman officer, not even a Jewish person. It said when Jesus returned to Capernaum, a Roman officer came and pleaded with him, Lord, my young servant lies in bed paralyzed and in terrible pain. And Jesus said, I will come and heal him. And we notice that the officer says, no, you know what? You have authority to just speak the word. And so he does. He speaks the word and he heals the man. What a miracle working Jesus that we're talking about here. And so this young man this young servant is healed by Jesus, just by Jesus speaking the word. Remember, Jesus spoke the world into existence. So he certainly can heal someone by speaking the word. And then in the next section, we see that Jesus arrives at Peter's house, and Peter's mother-in-law was sick in bed with a high fever, and we see that he touches her and he heals the mother-in-law. And then Jesus intersperses in the next section here, he intersperses some more teaching about the cost of following Jesus. And then in this next section, Jesus does another miracle, not a miracle of healing, but he calms a storm. The disciples are afraid, and he says, you have so little faith, don't you understand who I am? And then he got up and he rebuked the winds and the waves, and suddenly there was a great calm. And we see the disciples saying, who is this man? Even the winds and the waves obey him. And maybe you feel that way a little bit as you're reading this gospel, and you're reading about Jesus and his teachings and his miracles, and you're saying, who is this man? Well, this is a man who is ushering in the kingdom of God, a new way to relate to God. And we see in this next vignette that Jesus arrives now on the other side of the lake, and there were two men who were possessed by demons, and they were violent, so violent that nobody could go near them because they were possessed, right? And we see the authority that Jesus has over, not just over these men, but over the demons that are possessing these men, and he casts these demons out of the men. And as you read this and this whole chapter, just pay attention to these stories and put it in the context of the rest of what you've been reading in Matthew, that Jesus is more than just a great teacher. What we see here is Jesus has authority. He has real authority, not just real authority to teach, but real authority to act and to cast out demons and to heal people and to calm the storm. And if Jesus has this kind of authority in the New Testament, then he has that kind of authority in your life as well. So you're ready to read Matthew chapter 8. We'll see you tomorrow for chapter 9.